Hey guys, I am Orlando and you are watching Sin City Cycling. And on today's shop we have Nick's new Colnago. We did build what we thought was possibly a fake Colnago from Nick not too long ago. It was a steel bike. That one turned out to be a little bit too small for him, so he went and bought this Colnago. I'm assuming it's called the Dream. It's a mix of aluminum and carbon fiber. And here, let me take you over, you guys, get a good look at it. And I think it's really cool. Check out these tube shapes. How it's got these curves, almost like it's the shape of that Colnago Clover that they have on the front there. So the tubes kind of have that profile. It's interesting. I've never seen it before, how they have that. So the rear seat stay actually is carbon fiber, and it is bonded. You can see the lug here from the bottom bracket, and at the top here where the carbon fiber is bonded to the aluminum. And I originally thought that this bottom tube was carbon fiber just by the sound of it. So you could hear the ring of the aluminum. And then this one sounds like carbon. But anyway, it has been confirmed that it's actually aluminum. And like I said, the back seat stay is carbon fiber, as well as the forks here. And it looks like it's just been clear coated, so you can still see the carbon weave in there, which is pretty interesting. It's a pretty interesting bike here. Never actually worked on a actual Colnago. I'm pretty sure the one that we worked on not too long ago was probably not a real Colnago to begin with. Anyway, mostly I'm just transferring the group set from that original Colnago build to this bike and recabling. So it shouldn't take us too long to do that. I'm going to go ahead and start with the bottom bracket. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay. And we got the new one here. Hopefully it's going to fit. I'm pretty sure Nick did his research. I bet it's the same size. This looks like the same size as the one that was on the other bike. Yeah. Should come with a little adapter. It doesn't look like it does. So that side fits. Okay, we're moving on to day two of this Colnago build, and the issue I'm running into is this Italian bottom bracket from Shimano. None of my adapters fits this adapter, and it's real tough to screw in because of all of these all of this thread locker that they put on here. I've never seen that on a bottom bracket before, but I've installed plenty of Shimano ones, and I'm a little curious to why it's got so much thread locker on it, but because of that, it is a real hard turn to get it into the bottom bracket here, so I had to order a specific tool for this bottom bracket. So that's what's holding up the build right now. So it should be delivered here today. Until that happens, I'm going to go ahead and get all of the cabling done. So all I have to do is install the cranks and tune the bike. So let's go ahead and get into that, and I'm hoping to finish this build today. Okay, I just took delivery of the bottom bracket tool that I needed. The bottom bracket is a BBR60, and that's the tool there that should hopefully fit it. I'm gonna check. Nice, yeah, so it fits. And like I said earlier, the issue we were having is all that thread locker on the bottom bracket. It makes it really difficult to turn in there by hand. So normally I would just apply these by hand, and that would be that. But this one needs to have a little bit more power applied. So make sure. I added a little grease to these threads, but I'm starting to think that that's probably not the idea that they intended if they put all this thread locker on there. So let's clean that out. Now, this bike's been interesting to say the least. It's got missing stuff. Oh, I should have pointed out the other things that were missing. The neck, I forget. Okay. Sorry, in there. Ready? It's not going anywhere. Okay, now we can move on to the crank finally. That. A little plastic center screw. That. Hold on a second, I gotta move a cable out of the way. That's binding up on here. It's the front derailleur cable. I don't want to mess that up before I even get to tuning it. Okay. Guard. Okay, and there we have the 105 cranks installed on the new bike. Pretty much it's all downhill from here now. I did have to mess up some of the bar tape here because the cable outer for the brakes was a little too short, so I had to lengthen that. So in order to lengthen it, I had to undo some of the bar tape here, and in the process of undoing it, it pretty much destroys it. So I apologize, Nick, but it had to be done. And we're just going to move on to cabling, so let's go ahead and get into that. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and install the front derailleur, and I'm hoping that the cable isn't going to rub against the tire here. I had to use a cable guide. I don't know if you guys remember that Madone I did that had the carbon fiber damage. So I used the cable guide from that, so it wasn't actually intended for this bike, so I'm not sure how it's going to work, or if it's going to work, I should say. So now, usually these braze-ons straighten the derailleur for you, so you don't really have to do too much lining it up, which is nice. So on the derailleur here, you can see the teeth on this little guide tape that they put on there, and that makes the spacing really nice and easy, and I really appreciate them doing this. So that looks pretty good here. I don't know if you guys can see totally. Let me pull it out a little bit so you can see. But if you notice here, you can see the little shark fins, and all you gotta do is just align those so it looks so it's in the right spot. And it looks like I might have to come down just a hair, so let's do that. Good. Okay. Okay, so we're at the cable here. I just need to get it underneath this guy. Still a little loose, so I'm going to get some more tension into it. I do have an adjust on the frame as well, so I actually have two adjustments. These derailleurs have an adjustment right here to adjust the tension for the cable, and I also have one on the frame here. Alright, gonna get a little tighter. I'm using the frame one just because I get better pull with that, even though the little covers here are missing. And the little covers I'm talking about are these here. They should have little plastic covers like this. And they're absent, so it makes it a little difficult to turn, but still workable. Okay, just about got the rear derailleur cable ready to go on. I reused the one that Nick had, or at least I think I'm gonna. Now that I'm starting to put it together here, it looks a little long. Oh shit. I have to go through this thing first. And I generally don't reuse these things, but there were so few miles on this stuff that I think it'll be okay. In worst case scenario, an externally routed cable isn't that hard to replace. Although now that I'm looking at the length of this thing, I'm thinking that it might not be long enough. So I might have to replace the cable anyway. Okay, now we can see if it's long enough. And I don't think it's gonna be. Okay, I thought I was gonna be able to save that old shift cable, but it looks like I'm gonna have to use the new one anyway. It's just not. It's just a little bit too long or short, I mean. Alright, cooking with gas now. Everything's coming together. Okay, so let me see. All I got to do really is the chain, and the rest I'm assuming will be, the brakes. Okay, so chain and brakes. Now I like to do the brakes like this. You want to take out, I don't know, until it's, I don't know, maybe a quarter or half inch sticking out. The more adjustment, I guess, the better. And then I squeeze the brakes to the rim, okay? And then tighten it. And of course, I don't have the right tool in my hand. Okay, squeeze to the rim. And then tighten the cable. And once the cable's tight, oh shit. Once the cable's tight, you can use the adjustment that you just gave yourself to adjust it away from the rim. So you want to go back down, and that will apply space to the rim. And there you go. Okay, and here we have the finished Colnago. We just pretty much transferred all of the 105 Groupset, the R7000, from his other steel frame bike, the one that we thought is a Colnago, or didn't think it was a Colnago. We called it the faux Nago. And we just transferred those parts onto here. And I think it's a handsome looking bike now. So we redid all of the cables, brakes, everything. I just freshly tuned the derailleur. I had to take a nut off of, I had to scavenge a nut off of one of the derailleurs of mine to make this work. But Nick said he'll replace it, so that's not a big deal. It was not big of a deal. That way we could get our friend out on his new bike. I just got the brakes all tuned. As I mentioned earlier, the frame tubes have that clover pattern on it. So it's like a hump here, and then in the middle, kind of like the clover design on the front. So the tubes are shaped that way, which is strange, but you know, bottom bracket was a pain in the ass. I had to buy a special tool just for that. That's our tool there. You saw me put it on earlier, but that was 10 bucks, Amazon. I don't know why Shimano decided to go with a different pattern on these bottom brackets, but that sucks because now I have 3 different tools for Shimano bottom bracket. So I wish they would just pick a standard and stick with it. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and take a quick ride on the bike, make sure everything's working before I call them and tell them it's ready to pick up. So let's go ahead and take a quick spin and finish this build. This bike is light too. This thing weighs nothing. And I never thought an aluminum bike would be, or could be so lightweight. So I'm rather impressed by this Colnago. I don't like the parts that are different because I needed a new set of tools just to put the thing together, but I have them. I'm put together a Colnago again. I don't have to buy shit, hopefully. everything seems to be functioning all right. That was our Colnago build. As always, I appreciate you guys checking us out. If you guys like the kind of things we're doing, consider hitting that like and that subscribe. As always, I am Orlando, and you have been watching Sin City Cycling. Peace.